My sponsor Rock Bottom is currently running a special deal. Head on over to rockbottomcoins.com and use code Zirksee at checkout for a 30% off your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be tier ranking every single 99 overall card in Madden 19. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Chewbacca Lemma. If you guys don't know who Chewy is, I will leave a link in the description to his YouTube channel. Please, guys, go check out Chewbacca Lemma. He is the one who actually made this tier list. So if you want to see his video going over his rankings and then come back and see mine or vice versa, it doesn't matter. I myself have not checked out his video yet. I'm going to check it out after I record mine because I want to see exactly how he feels about the same type of card. So hopefully you guys want to do the same. Go check out Chewy, hit him with that sub, and let him know that I sent you. If you did that, you'll find $1 on the side of the road later today. So let's go ahead and get into this. We have literally every single 99 in the game. There are a lot of 99s, and obviously we have S, which is going to be the top tier players. We have A, B, C, and D, and then offensive line. So we're going to start at the top here, and of course it's an offensive lineman. It's David Andrews. We are going to put him obviously in offensive line. Next up, we have limited time Antonio Brown. I will say this. I am literally going to rank these cards strictly off nothing except for how good I think the card is. The price doesn't matter. Nothing matters except for how good the actual card is and how dominant I believe these cards to be. Antonio Brown is definitely one of the better receivers in the game, but I will say this. In my opinion, he is not a super dominant receiver this year. I'm going to put him in the A tier. He's definitely very good, but he's not the top of the top. Next up, we have loyalty Aaron Rodgers. Again, Rodgers has pretty good throw accuracy for basically everything and is definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the game. I'm going to put him as well into the A tier. I feel like he fits there pretty well with Antonio Brown. He's not S tier. S tier is going to be, well, I don't want to do any spoilers, but I think you guys kind of figure out what S tier is going to be for QBs. Next up is going to be Saquon Barkley. At this point in the game, comparing him to other running backs, I definitely like the Barkley card. I had the rookie premiere. Personally, this is me speaking, please don't hate me, but Saquon Barkley to me is a B tier card. In terms of 99s, you got to think, all these cards are 99s. They're all going to be very good, but in terms of glitchiness, just how amazing is he? I really don't see Saquon doing that much versus me or when I used him. So I'm going to put Saquon in the B tier. Next up is going to be Barry Sanders. Now, this one might shock people, I think, but I'm actually going to put Barry Sanders in the S tier. I feel like Barry is one of those running backs that is just so glitchy, so hard to tackle for some reason. Like, it just, no matter what, he's just so slippery whenever I play him. He is probably one of the hardest running backs to face, one of the most annoying running backs to face for me. That's why Barry's going to be S tier. Next up is going to be Le'Veon Bell, and I think Le'Veon Bell is honestly probably around the B tier as well with Saquon Barkley. I don't think he's that good of a card. Honestly, no, I'm gonna put Le'Veon Bell in C tier. I don't think Le'Veon Bell is that good of a card for me this year. I did a gameplay with him. I faced off against him. He doesn't really seem to be too glitchy. That's just my personal opinion. Next up, we have Tom Brady, which obviously Brady is an extremely good thrower of the football, but his mobility is just so bad, and I feel like in this game, you need a little bit of mobility. So I am going to put him in the C tier. I know that he has such crazy good throwing stats, but it's just an mobility as a quarterback in this game. Next up is going to be an offensive lineman. So again, offensive lineman, go ahead and insert him right there. And then we have Calvin Johnson. Calvin is definitely one of the better receivers in the game. His Ultimate Legend 99 is a little bit on the slow side, but he's still a very good card, and a lot of people have Calvin Johnson. I want to put him, honestly, I want to put him A tier. I don't think he's S tier at this point, but I think he belongs in A tier. If Aaron Rodgers can be A tier, Calvin definitely deserves to be A tier. Next up is going to be Cam Newton, and again, Cam has solid throwing stats. He does have some slightly bad throwing stats in there as well, but he does have the speed and mobility, and a lot of people would go absolutely ham with Cam. I'm going to put Cam Newton in the B tier with Saquon Barkley. I feel like some people might be mad about that Brady's going to be in the C tier and Cam Newton's going to be in the B tier. This is just my personal experience, the cards that I've played, how they play against me. Next up is going to be Ocho Cinco. I really don't see a lot of people running Ocho. Main reason is because he's just not really that glitchy of a card. He's a solid card, but he's not that super glitchy. Again, I'm going to put him in the C tier as well. Next up is going to be Nick Chubb. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I have not seen any gameplay with Nick Chubb. I have not seen any one person at all use this card. I'm going to base this strictly off his stats, and I haven't seen him play at all, so I really don't know if I can rank him technically. So I guess I'm going to put him based off his stats. I think he belongs in C tier. Based off stats. I have not seen any gameplay. I could be completely wrong with that. Let me know down below. Nick Chubb, if you're going to be mad about that ranking, I guess you can be mad at me because I have not seen any gameplay. Next up is going to be CJ2K, which Chris Johnson is literally all about speed. And I would much rather have, obviously, Barry Sanders, who's in the S tier. I think Chris Johnson at this point, just because his trucking is not that high, he's basically speed and juke, which a lot of these other guys can get up to 99 speed. I feel like CJ2K has to be a D tier at this point. Earlier in the year, he was definitely a lot higher, but at this point in the year, he is a D tier player. Next up is going to be Chris Carter. Chris Carter again. You really don't see him making that many plays. I honestly feel like Chris Carter's probably in the D tier as well with CJ2K. Next up is going to be Dan Marino, and again, you need some mobility as a quarterback, so I'm going to put him in the C tier with Tom Brady as well. I'm not going to be individually ranking every single card. I'm just going to put them in the tier they belong. Next up is Stephon Diggs, which I actually really like this Stephon Diggs card. Again, haven't seen any gameplay with him, so I am going to put him in the C tier. I feel like he's kind of with Ocho, you know, really good route runners, but not like a super glitchy card. Next up is going to be Julian Edelman, who is a little bit on the slower side and a solid route runner, but I'd rather have someone like Stephon Diggs or Ocho Cinco, so I'm going to put him in the D tier as well. Next up is going to be John Elway, who actually has a little bit more mobility than someone like Brady or Dan Marino. Slightly less on the throwing stats, but still a very good card. I would put him high tier C. Honestly, I really like the Elway card. Next up is going to be Zach Ertz, who was a very good tight end, but you guys will see who my top tight ends are, and I don't think Ertz is a top tight end in an Ultimate Team, so again, I feel like I'm going to have to put Ertz probably in... It's C or B for me, honestly, for Zach Ertz. I feel like he's just a little too slow, so I'm going to put Zach Ertz in the C tier. Now, I actually have seen some gameplay with Leonard Fournette, and this man absolutely looks like a tank. So for Fournette, I can't disrespect him. He's got to go in the B tier at least, because I have seen people say he might even be the best running back in the game, which I don't know if he's the best running back in the game, but I've seen some gameplay, and he is absolutely ridiculous. Next up is Antonio Gates, and Gates is honestly just way too slow for a tight end. He's going to be in the D tier. We also have Golden Tate again. Solid route runner, a little bit too slow, not anything too spectacular. He's going to be in the D tier as well. Jimmy G. I think Jimmy Graham, just based off the fact that he's so tall, he can go get those aggressive catches, and this card is a newer card. I believe he's going to be in the B tier for me. He's definitely a big jump ball tight end with some pretty solid stats. There are some tight ends I would rather take above him, which the next one right here is going to be Rob Gronkowski. Gronk is going to be in the A tier. He's not S tier for me, but he's definitely in the A tier because he is one of the best tight ends in the game. Next up is going to be Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley's Team of the Year card was a very, very, very good when he first came out. I will definitely rank him above Saquon Barkley. I'm going to put him in the A tier. I love this Todd Gurley card. I loved it when it came out. He's not an S tier for me anymore. When he first came out, he was definitely the best running back in the game. We have T.Y. Hilton next up, who again, another very, very good card. I'm going to put T.Y. Hilton as well in the A tier. I feel like he is an A tier receiver. Seen a lot of gameplay, played against him a lot. He definitely tears it up. We have DeAndre Hopkins, which I really wish this card was better. Like, yeah, you don't really see a lot of people playing with it, and he just doesn't really do that much when I do see people playing with him. And I love DeAndre Hopkins as a player, but in Ultimate Team, he's just not that great, not that glitchy a receiver for me. He's going to be in the C tier. We also have Jarvis Landry, which again, it's a free card, but price and everything, I'm going to leave that out of this. I'm going to put Jarvis... I guess he goes in C tier as well. There's probably going to be a lot of C tier players, honestly. Next up is going to be Juju. This one is tough as well. Now, I really, really like that Juju can run block with some of the best receivers in the game, but I don't think he deserves to be B, A, or S tier, so I am going to put him in C tier, but he's got to be like higher C tier, I guess, because he is an extremely good run blocker. Next up is going to be Julio Jones, which in my opinion is one of the best wide receivers in the game. Julio's just one of those really glitchy cards, so he definitely has to go in the A tier. He would probably be right next to Calvin for me in terms of if I was actually to rank these guys. Next up is Kyle Juszczyk. I mean, it's a fullback. I don't use my fullback, and I guess I'm just going to put him in B tier. He's one of the better fullbacks in the game, but I don't really care for him. Keyshawn Johnson, I have used this card. He's okay. He is an okay wide receiver. Again, a little on the slower side, so I'm going to put him on this C tier for receivers. Next up is Kittle. Yeah, Kittle's S tier. Without a doubt, Kittle is S tier for me. Probably my favorite tight end I think I've ever used in any Ultimate Team ever is George Kittle. Just because of his speed, he's super glitchy for me. For some reason, Kittle's just super glitchy. He gets all the catches, gets all the animations. I love Kittle's cards. He is definitely an S tier tight end for me. Next up is going to be Kyler Murray. I did play a little bit of Kyler Murray. The top 3 quarterbacks that I've used this year are Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and of course Michael Vick. Of the 3 QBs, I definitely like Kyler. I am going to put him in the same tier as Aaron Rodgers. I like him a lot. Next up is going to be Larry Allen, offensive line, of course. Marshawn Lynch. I haven't seen gameplay with him at all. I will be completely honest with you. I think I actually might have played him like one time, but I really don't see any gameplay with him at all, and his stats are pretty solid. I'm gonna have to put him. I don't know. I don't know if I place him B tier or C. I think I'd put him in C tier. I'm pretty sure I put him in, and now that's disrespect. I can put him in B tier. He's a pretty solid running back. He's pretty, I'd say same level as Saquon Barkley, honestly. Next up is going to be Donovan McNabb, which again, you really don't see a lot of people using him, but I feel like he has to go in the same category as Cam Newton, kind of a similar QB style there. Melvin Gordon is next up. I actually really like this card's stats. I literally don't think I've ever seen someone, no, I take that back actually. I've seen a lot of people, I've seen like 1 or 2 people use him, I think, and his spin move is ridiculous. So Melvin Gordon, I think he's got to go in B tier. Definitely looks like a super good card. I have not seen a ton of people use him. I've seen maybe 2 or 3, I think, play against me, but his spin move seems to kill me every time. Next is going to be Ultimate Legend Michael Vick, and I think this one's pretty obvious. He's S tier. It's Mike Vick. He's an absolute monster. Randy Moss as well. He's going in S tier. That's blatant, obvious. Randy Moss, Michael Vick, those 2 have to be S tier. Lorenzo Neal is a fullback. Again, I don't really care for fullbacks, so personally, maybe this is just because I don't really use my fullback at all. I'm just put him in B tier next to Kyle Juszczyk. Another offensive lineman here. Next is going to be Nick Foles. Really don't care for this card. Same category to me as Golden Tate. OBJ. This card is really good. He's not S tier, but he's above Antonio Brown in my rankings. He's probably like right there, honestly. He might be, no, he's behind Calvin just because his height, I guess, a little bit low. Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is a very solid QB. I wish that his speed was a little bit higher. I am going to put him in the B tier for me. Patrick Mahomes. Walter Payton again. Another really good running back. I don't know to rank him A or B. He's not S tier for me. I think I would put Walter Payton in the... I think I'll put Walter in the A tier. He's definitely a really good running back. Next up is AP. Again, AP, I guess B tier level based off the other running backs that I've ranked on here as well. Another offensive lineman right here. We also have another O lineman. Jerry Rice, 99 Ultimate Legend. A little bit worse than his team captain card. And a solid running back. Wide receiver at that. But I don't think he's even... I mean, I don't even have any receivers in B tier yet, because they're all basically A, S, or C. I guess Jerry would... I guess Jerry's kind of... I don't know if he's above Stephon Diggs or not. I'm going to put him in C tier for now, but I feel like you could put him in B. I feel like he might belong in B, but I'm going to put him in C for now. Next up is another offensive lineman, so obviously O-line. Russell Wilson, this card is solid at best. But really, the stats are too slow on it. Like, the stats are way too low. I feel like he definitely could be a better quarterback, but I'm going to put him in the... Oh, man, I'm putting high C. High C tier for me. He's not B tier, but he's high C. Next up is going to be another offensive lineman, followed by another offensive lineman. If you saw my video, I have a big grievance with this Shannon Sharpe card. He is nowhere near Rob Gronkowski. The card is pretty dang bad. I'm actually going to put Shannon Sharpe in the D tier for me. Next up is Jeremy Shockey. Again, I really don't care for the Shockey card as well. Kind of on the same level as Shannon Sharpe for me. Next up is going to be Matt Stafford. I really like this card's throwing stats. I'm going to put him in the C tier as well. Seems to have very good accuracy. Solid speed as well. I'm really questioning whether I should put Russell Wilson in B tier. With McNabb and Cam Newton, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put him in B tier. Russell deserves in B tier, I think. Steve Young coming up next. At this point in time, Steve Young, when he first came out, was very good. He belongs in C tier for now. Next up is another offensive lineman. We then have Terrell Davis, which to me, there's really a lot of really good running backs in the game. He's going to be C tier as well. Michael Thomas, I think this might be my first B tier receiver. I'm going to put Michael Thomas in the B tier. He's a little slow, but his catching stats are very good. And for me, I've always seen Michael Thomas making crazy good catches against me as well. Very, very good possession catch, like in traffic, taking big hits. He seems to always hang on to them. Tony G. Again, probably a D tier receiver for me, or tight end anyways. T.O. I personally have used this Terrell Owens card. He seems to struggle with drops. So for me, I am going to put T.O. I think he's above D tier. He's C tier. I think he's C tier for me. I like the card, but he's had some drops. I will say that. Next up, another offensive lineman, another offensive lineman, another offensive lineman. Delaney Walker, he's going to be D tier for me. Offensive lineman, and finally, Ricky Williams. This is going to be strictly off this stats. I feel like he is going to be better than Saquon Barkley. I'm going to put him in the B tier. I think he deserves to be... No, I mean, the card is actually pretty good. I'm going to put him in A tier. I think Ricky deserves to be in A tier. So this is my ranking of every single 99 overall card in Madden 19. Very, very select few at the tippity top in the S tier. We have Randy Moss, Michael Vick, Barry Sanders, and George Kittle. A tier, Murray, Ricky Williams, Walter Payton, Aaron Rodgers, Todd Gurley, T.Y. Hilton, Antonio Brown, OBJ, Julio, Calvin, and Rob Gronkowski. And then you can see everybody below them. Let me know down below your guys' opinions on my rankings, and let me know down below if you think I maybe should move someone around, or if you have a certain opinion about something. I know some people are probably gonna be mad about this. It's my opinion. It is what it is. And someone's going to be upset that I don't put their favorite player in the A tier or the S tier. It is what it is. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. And if you did, smack the like button, subscribe, and comment. If you guys want me to like rank anything else, let me know down below what I should rank. And maybe I'll make my own list for this as well if I can figure out how to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys check out Chewbacca Lemma. Link is in the description. I'll see you guys next time.